All right, DRYSIDE, you ready to go? Have I just nailed with the Irish accent?
No, it sounded more like Bristol farmer. All right, my lover, DRYSIDE, we're ready to go.
I can't do it. I can't. I just can't physically do it. I can't get it out of my. All right, DRYSIDE.
Lift off and the clock has started.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine.
Welcome back. We are back. We did have a week off last week. We were getting our winter upgrades, but we are back for another episode of Two Old Futs. DRYSIDE, how are you doing, mate?
Doing great, really good. We've already done about 45 minutes of the show before the show, as usual. Picking about with accents and everything else, so that's me done for the day.
Oh, we couldn't start the show because we were just laughing so much at how close. Honestly, my accent, my impression of DRYSIDE is so close to it being like DRYSIDE, you would not know. You'd think it's just DRYSIDE doing the podcast on his own, but actually it'd be me and him. So I'm not going to do it because it confused you all, but it was that good. All right, DRYSIDE, let's go. Oh no, that's not even there. Right, let's leave the accents and let's talk about. Let's leave the accents there and let's talk about beefs. Let's talk about all things. Yeah, we were not here last week. The main reason being I was a mess on Monday after the charity stream. So we took the week off just so we could come back with a bang this week. And DRYSIDE, what's been going on? What's been going on with yourself?
What has been going on with me? Nothing much really. Didn't play weekend league again.
You did. You played it. You just ended up 5-4, and you just hide the fact that you played it, I reckon.
Well, that's right. I did, didn't I? I did play it, and then did I take the huff? I think I did. Shit, I can't remember. Did I? I can't remember.
I don't know if you did. I'm just assuming. It's like the sneaky. It's like the on Twitter you see the tweets of. And there was that one in particular. I can't remember who it was who tweeted it out, but somebody remember that there was a video that somebody tweeted, and it was a pack opening, and their tweet said marquee matchups OP. But at the start of the video, and it was them packing like a Team of the Year player or something, like an absolute monster or an icon or something. But then at the very start of the video, the very first clip, very first frame showed it was actually a FIFA point pack. And you can see a lot of it on Twitter where somebody be like, oh my God, upgrades are insane. And actually it's just FIFA points, or League SBC grind insane. When actually they just put FIFA points on. I think you do that with your weekend league. You're like, nah, I didn't play weekend league. No. Really just hiding in the background that you did play weekend league, but just gave up.
Yeah. I did. No, I don't think I did. But on a personal note, I'd done something that somebody should never do. On a serious note, you should never do this. And it's take an absolute huge dump in your ensuite, not knowing your girlfriend's going to go and use the same toilet after you.
I can't believe you brought that up. I was like, he's not going to go there with that story. But yes.
I felt I had to, because I think the people have to know. Public have to know. And everybody's done it before. And I'm just ashamed of myself that I've done it. I only came in today afterwards, and all I could smell was bleach in the house. I thought, where's that bleach coming from? I didn't realise she'd used the toilet. And then I could smell bleach, and she hadn't said. So now she just thinks I'm a filthy animal, and the toilet's been bleached.
Or knows you're a filthy animal.
We've all been there. We'll move on quick actually now, because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
So... That's been interesting. What a start to the show. Indeed, we had some quality accents.
Bowel movement.
DRYSIDE's bowel movements. And we've not even talked about, FIFA yet.
Yeah, let's get into FIFA.
Well, we started talking about shite, so maybe we carry on. Oh, that's a bit negative, isn't it? That's a bit negative.
Yeah.
I'm fresh off a weekend league. Yeah, I'm fresh off a weekend league, soul destroying, where I still love the game, but I mean, there was my controller went flying this weekend for the first time in ages.
Yeah, it was hard. I used my my spare controller. I've got 4 controllers, and I came to the point this weekend where I actually used the spare. That's how frustrated I was getting.
Yeah, well, mine's a brand new one, and I threw it, and I know anyone who's done similar, and I threw it on the floor, and instantly I was like, oh no, I only just bought that. I picked it up and almost gave it a little cuddle to be like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please don't be broken. And now it rattles a little bit and the L2 button sticks. So that's my excuse anyway. But sometimes it just sticks. So yeah, so that's my fault.
We've talked about this. You throw it in the air. It gives you 3 minutes, 3 seconds to calm down. That'd be such a throw if it's 3 minutes.
Oh, this wasn't even fun,
calm down. Catch it again.
This was a direct lob on the floor. I need to put a pillow on the floor. So if I get angry next time, I can lob it into the pillow. So it still gets the effect on stream. Everyone's like, "Goy, he's hard. Goy, he's so hard." And then actually, it's just onto a pillow. Before. And it's actually just hit a pillow on the floor.
In another context, but we'll not talk about it.
Yeah, let's leave. Oh, what has happened to the show? No, just for everyone listening, neither of us have had any, this isn't in the afternoon, like none of us had anything, any beverages of any kind or anything. We're just happy.
High on life.
Exactly, high on life. But yeah, so we did have
what's on the show today?
What's on the show today? So general have a little catch up as we've been doing and what's been going on with us and kind of, our FIFA story of the last week. Then we want to talk about content. We're going to talk future stars, guys. So we're going to talk to the promo, what we like, what we dislike, players we've tried and all that kind of stuff. Then we're going to talk about what content we should be getting very soon. And that leads us very nicely on to a discussion about winter refresh, talking about what cards we think are going to get in, what ones we're looking forward to, explain a little bit how it will work, how it normally works. And then we're going to have questions from you guys. And then we'll finish off just by talking a little bit about what to expect on next week's show. So there we go. Good. Let's go.
And one thing, I guess to start off with, it's quite good because I don't want you to plug it yourself because I know you like talking about yourself.
I was about to plug it. I was literally about to plug it. I know what you're going to say.
I was the charity stream.
Oh, a charity? I did a charity stream, did I?
Apparently so.
Oh, did I?
I heard of the grapevine, yeah. I haven't heard you talking about it, but I've heard many people talking about it. People that are big fans of the show.
The millions sending letters.
Norway, Sweden,
around the world. Yeah, we do worldwide. We're officially worldwide. I think we get downloads, guys. And like this is a big thank you to you guys. We get downloads like countries across the world, and they're all going to listen to your story, DRYSIDE. But the charity stream was really good. So if anyone who didn't know, I did a charity stream last weekend where I played 90 games of Futs Champs. So on I had three accounts that I used. 90 games of Futs Champs in one stream, which was I had to do it in 36 hours. So it was a 36-hour stream, 90 games of Futs Champs, and it was fantastic. We smashed the target of £1,000. We're currently at about £1,250 raised for Mind Mental Health charity, so that's fantastic. The support was amazing on stream. The numbers on stream were amazing. I mean, it was absolutely. I was absolutely gobsmacked by the support. I mean, we averaged 98 viewers for the whole stream, which is incredible. I know a lot of people, even in the middle of the night, a lot of people just left their PCs on and stuff because it helps you get through. There's one point in the night where there's about 5 of us. It's like there's a few battles going on as well with people trying to stay up the longest. I think Craig Simps won it. He was up to about 7 a.m. with me. You had Vague Bot as we were calling him. He was kind of up till, I think he made it to about 3:30, and then people, you do a roll call. So I was doing roll calls at like 3-4 a.m. I'd be like, "You still there? Vague, you still there?" Nah, he's gone. Craig, you still there? And you're like, "Yeah, I'm still here." And you're just going through and doing a roll call. But the support was fantastic. And the weekend league, actually, considering I played 90 games and 2 of those accounts are not with my team, they're just with random teams I've never played with before, I did all right. We finished up 58 and 32. So I got gold 1 on one account, and then gold 2 on one account and gold 2 on the other 2. And I mean, I loved it. I loved it. And we're going to go bigger and better next time. So next time it's going to be 4 weekend leagues in 48 hours.
Yeah, it's quality. Well done.
It's going to be absolutely massive. But yeah.
So, but what did you find from a mental point of view in terms of how you were able to cope with each game and changing team to team? Was it every 10 games you changed teams?
Yeah, every 10 games. So I did 10 games with an account. So we did it was my account was last. We drew it. So I did the first account 10, second account 10, then my account 10. Then we recycled through again. So I think the mental side, because I was prepared that I was probably going to struggle and that I was quite relaxed about the gameplay, like that actually actually trying to do well in the weekend league didn't really cross my mind. So I didn't rage. Well, I'm not really a rage head anyway, but I didn't really get that frustrated at the game too much because I was like, I've got loads of games to play. I'm not really doing this to try and, smash elite. I had no pressure on myself to get anything. I wanted to get gold 2 at least on every account, really. So it was nice I could do that. But I think the difference, so I played weekend league this weekend and I've had an absolute stinker. I finished gold 2. I was playing absolute trash, like the most negative, like I just could not find a pass. I was putting defenders out. I just couldn't put my finger on. I could tell myself what I was doing wrong, but I couldn't change it in game. I was just one-sided and everything, and I realised it's probably a lot to do with the pressure and the mental side of it. That last weekend I could deal with 90 games no problem because I wasn't focused on how well I had to play. I just knew I needed to play them. Whereas this weekend it was not about I've got to play them. I just need to get through them. It's I've got to do well. I really need to do well, and I'll be honest. This is going to sound really, really weird. I found 90 games last for charity. I found that easier and less stressful than my 30 games this weekend. It really hit me this weekend. I felt for the first time probably all FIFA 20, I actually didn't enjoy the game. On stream on Saturday, I said to guys, I was just like, I'll be honest, I'm actually not enjoying FIFA at the minute because I know we talked about this, we were talking about this off podcast, but the gameplay seems to have just gone, it seems even more people are playing drop back now.
Yeah.
I just faced it all the time this weekend.
I played Rivals quite a lot this weekend because I was doing a lot of the challenges or the objectives. I was doing it obviously for icon swaps. I was doing it for the Daniel James and the Odegaard challenges and Rivals. But there's two things. Rivals, it was playing through mud, and then as well as that, things like drop back was horrible. But not only that, things like people like transporting through your players, like just like. It just wasn't fun. And then even when I thought, you know what, I'd want to play squad battles because I know some of them, a lot of the Daniel James stuff is squad battles at a high level. The frustrating thing is when you're playing that, you think, okay, it's you're playing against the AI and it'll be a bit better, but you forget that you're playing people's teams. If they've got a certain tactic set up, that's the way it'll play in the game for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're playing against somebody's squad and they have their squad set up as drop back, full park the bus, and you're playing that on legendary level. I was playing guys at people's teams that was just like 9 people in the box. That's so frustrating.
It's just
you're trying to do an objective.
Yeah, it was a killer. Like weekend league, the amount of times they'd be attacking me, so they'd be on the attack, and they would still have. They'd only have 4 players max in the attack. Everyone else was literally bunched up together with the defenders. It was crazy. Yeah. And they'd, and I got caught out every time, just get caught out on the counter attack. And it didn't help because I was pulling defenders out. But I just got to the point where I was just like, this is so boring. I'd literally get the ball and it got 9 people to try and break down. And they're well versed in how they're trying to play and overload ball side. So now, because it's become a lot more popular with pro events and kind of good players are using it. I think there's some people who've been using it for a long time, but it's becoming very popular now. The overload ball side. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's what a defending tactic you can put on, and essentially it does what it says on the tin. It's all your players will just overload to that side of the pitch, so it does leave you vulnerable if you're using that on the other side if they cross the ball over. But people use it. It's very effective with drop back, depth 1, kind of that kind of negative football. People, and it's quite effective anyway to use at times. But people often have that on. Now you can counter it definitely if you look at the radar and see that people are using it, because you can switch to hug the touchline on your tactics and then spray the ball. So you can counter it, but it makes it very hard when you're just under so much pressure when you start attacking that you can lose the ball and then they're on the counter. And it was disappointing, and for the first time, I'm really not enjoying a weekend league. I just know it won't change. That's the annoying thing, and I'm praying for FIFA 21 that they kind of do something about it, like almost get rid of it. You don't need it. It's an arcade. It's a game. It's not an actual game of football. It's an arcade version of football. So therefore, we don't have to have every level of detail. Just get rid of drop back. Or depth 1 or
different scenarios that you could have it in game and you were only allowed to use it for 10 minutes at a time in a game. But I thought to myself, you know what, just get rid of it. There's no need to complicate it. Just don't have it.
Yeah, as we said before, it's a game. It's an arcade version of a game of a sport, and you don't play it for 90 minutes every game. You know, if you did, you'd probably go nuts, because you think about it, how many games of football are actually pretty crap in terms of like to watch? Can you imagine having to play that on a FIFA for like so it's they need to keep it fun. Their main thing is to find that balance between reality and fun, and I think they've gone a little bit too far with reality. But I guess it's hard for them to know, because they don't know. Well, I assume they don't know how people are going to pick it up, because it's ultimately what the pros play, isn't it? That's the pros play a certain way, and then that generally feeds its way down to everyone else.
Yeah, you've got that catch-22 where people will be saying, like, "Oh, playing against this is, complete garbage, can't break it down." Then you get the other side of it. People are saying, "Oh, this game's great because I'm winning games because I'm using it." So they can't win either way. If they remove it, there'll be a backlash. If they keep it, there's a backlash. So yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one. It's just I miss, and this is from a streamer perspective. It saddened me that at the start of FIFA, and I talked this on stream the other day, so you're there, DRYSIDE. At the start of FIFA, there's a load of us on Discord. A load of us, all friends via the stream, different ages, different, some with families, some without families, very different people from different backgrounds. And we're all there, absolutely hyped off our asses about this game that we're waiting so we can download, and then we're like, come on, how long till I download? Come on. Or we are sat on Discord trading, making 500 coins a time, 300 coins a time. We're loving it. And everyone, and like Twitter was so positive about, everyone was loving it. And then now you see a lot of people just don't play it as much, because it's getting boring. And talking to people who are very good at the game, I find that they say to get better at the game, they've had to play sweatier and more boring. It's like that trade-off. If you want to play cool football and have fun with it, you're going to lose some weekend league games, because you're going to face people who are just playing the way you have to play to be able to win as many games as possible.
It's funny to say that, because it's really refreshing at times when I play friendlies, just little matches against the kids at the weekend, and you're playing against somebody who's just innocent, just wants to play a computer game. They just want to play a game of football.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's no ulterior motive. They just want to play the game. And it's just, I actually have really good fun playing with the kids online on the PlayStation. It's and on that note, when you're playing rivals and you come up against somebody who isn't trying to do an objective, they've got an average team, you might beat them 4 or 5-0, but you actually get a really good game. And they don't try anything, like they don't try drop back tactics. They don't no motives. They just play. Now, they'll never quit, but that's almost a sign of them just wanting to play the game.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Impression.
And I thought about a theory or something. I might try this. There's a competitive side of me that stops it, but in a weekend league, obviously you get some games where you play and the other person's playing just like you. They're not playing drop back. They're playing because they want to try and score good goals. They want to have fun with it.
Yep.
And some of those games you'll win, some of those games you'll lose, but they're generally fun games at least. And then you get the games that are sweaty, where they play drop back. They literally hold it, possession the whole game, and then just get one counter attack and score, whatever. And I think, you know what? They're the ones that I really don't enjoy playing. So maybe this is for anyone else. If you're listening and you're thinking, yeah, that's my situation, they do my head in. Got to think, how important are the rewards between Gold 3 and Elite 3? Like, realistically, the average return is probably very similar. So actually, if you just, instead those sweaty games, let's say out of the 30, let's say 10, for example, of games you just don't want to play because they're horrible, just quit. I think Nick 2018's done it before, and I don't know, some people understood it, some people gave him stick, because he was like, I just don't want to play. Like, I just don't want to play that game. And actually, I can kind of agree with it. Like, to keep the game fun, if you come up against somebody who is just filth, just quit. Take the L. And you may finish the weekend league at, but a lot of people stop at 14 anyway. So you might as well take the loss and play 14 games, win 14 games that you enjoy, rather than maybe winning 8 that you enjoy and winning 8 that you hated, but you grinded it out against against somebody really sweaty. So it's an interesting thought.
I'd rather lose a game of FIFA, and even from a competitive point of view, I'd rather lose a game of FIFA where it's been a really hard battle and we both played very, very well, and you lose, by the odd goal or by the better person, than actually winning in a real sweaty game when somebody's dropped back. I'm just peppering them, and you grind the win out. it's just no fun trying to grind that kind of win.
No, not at all. So it's a good idea though, isn't it? For people who want to play for more fun, gold like
Just quit.
yeah, just quit. Be like, you know what? Doesn't matter. I've still got, yeah. If you quit 10 of your games, you've got 20 games. Even if you get 11, the one thing you want to avoid is obviously if you can try to get enough so you requalify. You don't want to only end up. You don't want to quit 25 games and then only play and win 5 because that way you've got to requalify via rivals. And I tell you what, that is painful. So don't go to that extreme. But definitely, if there's a few, just quit. Be like, you know what? I don't want to waste 20 minutes of my time doing this. I'd rather quit out now. We'll see. You wait. The other weekend, I'll be like, I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting, you asshole.
The message, Jeff.
No.
I've just quit 25 games. You're an absolute.
Yeah, don't quit that many. But it's just food for thought, right? How to make the game a little bit more fun. Because at the minute, it's
doesn't last long.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, gameplay's been a little bit tough. I'm hoping next week might be a little bit better, but
Yeah.
but that's the worst one I've had. I know a lot of people have been getting disconnects. We've had loads of mistakes and things recently. I mean, like I know in the pro tournament of the weekend, the E-Club Championship, they had a couple of disconnects, didn't they? And that's like local servers, I imagine. Weekend League's been delayed again with Weekend League connection problems, and then like Squad Battle Awards couldn't be accessed last night on console, and
Yeah.
lots and lots of.
It wouldn't be FIFA if there wasn't some schoolboy errors every week.
I know.
That now.
It's madness, isn't it? Just more and more all the time. But that's what what we've got. And what any new players? You've got any new players you've tried out that outside of promo players? We'll have a talk about future stars in the one of the next segments. But any
Promo players are not promo player. What squad am I running now? It's not that different. I did do the only as of today. I've only played one game with them at lunchtime. Was it lunchtime? Was it after? I can't remember.
skiving off work?
Yeah. Just, no, it wasn't. Don't say that. This is listening to a lot of people. I did get Ronald Koeman from the icon swaps. So, play him actually as a CDM, play 5 at the back with him, then in game move him into a CDM. What a player!
He's good.
He's got attributes are just fantastic for a CDM. He's actually got better shooting than some strikers in the game.
Yeah, he's crazy, isn't he?
Like composure, agility. He's a great player. So got him. So he's now linked up at the back line, then moves into midfield, obviously. But so we've got Zambrata, usual, PK, Koeman, Ferdinand, Russelin. Considering changing him. Have brought, maybe this has been my downfall at the weekend, brought 86 Michael back in again.
Oh dear, we're here again, huh?
We're back there again. But to be fair, all keepers seem to be pretty shit, so it doesn't really make a difference. Although he does make some horrendous errors.
They all do. They all do, don't they?
Kante's back, brought Kante back again. And I've introduced a new striker to the club, Hernandez, 90, icon.
Oh,
Not Hernandez, ex United. Really, really good.
is he
Great
good?
card. Yeah, quality card. I sort of thought I was going to go with Drogba, and I heard people saying about Drogba turns like a boss. He's terrible, but he's a great player. But Hernandez is like agility's 93, acceleration's 94, pace 92 overall, finishing 91. Like that's a quality card for only 700,000 coins. You think? I think when he started, he was something like 1.6, 1.8 million.
Yeah.
You know how far he's come down. So that's been the change to my team. Nothing else. Midfield is pretty much still the same.
Interesting. Yeah, I tried Koeman. Obviously, with the stream at the weekend with other people's teams, I tried quite a lot of new players. I tried the Koeman card as well. I was using him at centre back, and he actually did feel really, really nice. I did like him.
Yes.
In terms of
Free kicks as well. 95 free kick accuracy, I think.
yeah, he can absolutely smash a free kick, can't he?
Yeah.
And who did?
I think it's funny with us, because with us, I think icons mean a little bit more to us because they're the players we grew up with. You know, and that's the difference. You know, we grew up watching Ronald Koeman and Zambrata and Schmeichel, so that you're a bit more familiar. Because back in the day, we would have played with those guys as your normal game of FIFA or PES back in the day.
Yeah, definitely.
You
And
know, connection with them already.
that's it. You do have that connection because I think a lot of people who are brand new into FIFA, people in their teens that maybe obviously didn't grow up with those players. Sometimes I'd be like, who is that guy? Because they're not always ones that obviously everyone's going to know. Everyone knows who Pele is, and those kind of players will eternally be kind of just well known, no matter how old you are, whatever. But there's others that people be like, really, like your Litmanen or your Laudrup or your Stoichkov. Those kind of players that not a lot of people may not have heard of. Like FIFA is probably the reason they hear of those players. But it's good to use them because we remember them. Like that's Kluivert. Kluivert was one of my favourite players, and
Another great player.
Yeah, he's one of my favourite players. But I can't use him in FIFA because he's clunky.
Gary Lineker. The only reason why my kids told me at the weekend the new Gary Lineker because there was a YouTube video of him. That's the World Cup where he actually shit himself and he was pulling himself along the ground.
What? I didn't know that.
Seen that?
I've not seen that.
Yeah, he pooed himself and he starts pulling himself along the ground. I've no idea. I haven't seen it.
What? That's the most random thing ever. I have no idea.
It's a bit of a weird one for a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old to make up. So apparently this actually happened, which I've never heard of before.
No, nor have I.
But Gary Lineker pooed himself in a match and he couldn't get up.
Gary, I know you're probably listening. Can you just confirm or deny this rumour for us, please? It'd be really appreciated. Just tweet us at 2oldfuts, and also let us know any questions for the podcast. And if you want to come on, you can.
Yeah. DM us. Don't do it publicly.
Yeah, exactly.
Just spread it.
Okay, that's random. You know I'm going to Google after this now, don't you? You know the first thing, and anyone listening,
Everybody's on Google.
the most searched thing on Google is did Gary Lineker crap himself? I'm going to check that out. But what we talk about? Oh, players are tried. I'll tell you one thing.
Your team?
Yeah, my team. So we'll talk about the future star ones in a bit. But Have we talked since I got headliner Neymar? I don't know. I've got headline. I don't know if we'd have actually. I got headliner Neymar and he's quality, but I kind of think I'm going to trade him up for Mbappe, because Team of the Year Mbappe, they're very similar in price. And Team Mbappe is just absolutely mental. Obviously, Neymar's just had his upgrade. Well, he will get his upgrade because PSG have won 4 games. So he's going to become a 95. I imagine it'll be tonight or tomorrow. So that'll be fantastic. But the other card like I introduced this weekend, I had Kenny Lala right back. But he just feels so clunky. I've had enough of him. Yeah. He feels awful. He feels like a rigid centre-back rather than a fluid full-back. There we go, look at that. But I bought in mid Carlos Alberto, so 90 rated Carlos Alberto, and he's a dream. Nice. Yeah, he's really, really good. I really like him. The only card I would like at right-back over him is probably Semedo's headliner card. I think that's my favourite right-back in the game. I don't know what it is about him. He's got like 94 agility or something. He just feels so agile. So but I can't fit him in for squad purposes. So Carlos Alberto it is for now, but he's still a beast.
It's just not the frustrating thing. Sorry to butt in your team, but is that not the biggest grind when biggest gripe? Sorry, when you do an SBC and you find out the player isn't what you thought they were going to be.
Yeah, it is painful. They need to introduce loans. There should be a loans version of every single SBC card. And it should be cheap. It should be like bronze players, and it should just be for 3 games. Doesn't need to be more. Yeah. And the other thing
how much did you pay?
I think his SBC was about 250 to 300k. I can't remember. Yeah. So it wasn't cheap. And the other thing they have to do, and we've talked about this before, they do loans for some cards, but to do it for everything, they need to ban loans in champs, obviously. Otherwise 100%. It'd be just ridiculous. But they need to have loans so you can use them, because otherwise you do cards like Lala, you put all that money in, and then you're like, hang on a minute, he's actually really... I've not liked him since the day I got him. The first game I was like, I don't really like him, but I've used him, and I don't like spending money on a fullback when you've already got one. As you said, it's really annoying when you have to, somebody's so expensive, but I just couldn't deal with him anymore because he just feels so rubbish. So it cost me 608,000 coins for Carlos Alberto, but my thinking as well is that's the cheapest he's been for a long time, this card. He's a mid-icon, which goes out of packs soon. I know Prime Icons also come out, I think next Friday. I don't know if this is... I'm just thinking here, just literally in my head, we're nearly in mid-Feb. I think Friday, I literally think this week is when we're going to get Prime Icon moments. So I don't think his price will be affected by those, because obviously Carlos Alberto's 93 is 1.6 million, and his 94 rated will be like 3 million or something, like these all will be, and his mid icon's going out of pack. So I actually think this probably isn't a bad investment really as well. So he's going to stick, and it helps with my squad building and stuff. But no, I really like him. Apart from that, the team's very similar. Haven't really changed much at the moment, but there will be a few changes coming soon, I think, this weekend.
Ooh, watch this space.
Yes. Yeah, watch this space. How about trading? Tell me, come on. Trading horrors. Basically, it's not even just trading.
Talk about this.
Live card horrors. I know. Actually, no. Right, I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna recite a DM conversation between me and DRYSIDE from the other day. Let me just find it for 2 seconds, but because this is going to be absolutely. So
While you're finding that, I'll just put in that whatever Chuff tells you just as a disclosure, none of this information is true, and he doesn't even have. I don't have DM switched on. He can't get in contact with me in any way because he tries to contact me all the time, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning crying. And stuff like that.
right,
I've actually got police notice against him as well. Can't come to my property either. You can't come within 20 yards of my house. You know, so I've been through a lot of heartache. You know, and I guess for him, you know, this podcast I've done it as a favor because it's been a therapy for us both. But sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
So
say this imaginary DM.
Okay, so this is the DMs as they go. So Saturday morning, DRYSIDE message from DRYSIDE. Considering going balls deep in Lukaku one to watch. And that was it. So I respond saying, Milan derby tonight, interesting. I don't have much coin at the moment, as all tied up in 87s, 83s and Carlos Alberto. Lol. I over lol. DRYSIDE response. At 66k, bound to go up to 80, 90 if he scores. Chuff response. True. I'm out at the moment, but I might get one later. So then we come through to later on, I get a message from DRYSIDE. I've bought 20 Lukakus, but waiting on Bayern to score. Then I'm going to jump on Werner if he gets below. So he's bought 20 Lukakus. I respond. I said, damn, that's 1.2 million Lukakus. GG. Next one. Oh, DRYSIDE. I'm all in. 230 coins left. 3 hours later, just after I've bought myself 3 Lukakus, and then I realised, I looked at it, I was like, why are there so many 88s popping up on the market at 6 o'clock? That's random. Oh, wait a minute, he's in this week's Team of the Week. So I messaged DRYSIDE. And it read, you know Lukaku can't get a Team of the Week this week, right? Message back from DRYSIDE, fuck. So tell us, DRYSIDE, how much... how did you get out of that one?
First of all, it cost me £6 for the bottle of wine. So I've lost £6 because that started it all. So that was a mistake. Then after that, I had a couple of beers, and I thought, that'd be a great idea to do that. And you drink in, sense out. And yeah, probably lost about, and you'll hear this and you'll say, oh yeah, add another 20 onto that.
At
I
least.
lost about maybe 50, 60k.
So that's 120k at least. I might even treble it. It's like, what's that thing they always used to say about men and women and the number of partners they may have had? It's like when a man tells you the number of partners they've had, you've got to divide it by 3. And when a lady tells you, you've got to times it by 2. Is that right? Or something like that?
Something like that.
We're applying that. I'm applying that into FIFA terms, where whenever somebody tells you how much profit they made, you've got to divide it by 3, and whenever somebody tells you how much they lost, you've got to times it by 2.
Yeah, I'll always admit when I've made a mistake. I'm a big enough person to hold my hands up and say, you know what, I've ballsed up here. And with the Lukaku thing, I ballsed up. I didn't do my research. And that's one thing you should learn from FIFA when you're trading. Do your research. Don't just see somebody go, oh, that's a good idea, I'll buy him. But luckily, I did flip it, and I used the money that I got back, even with the loss, to then reinvest in another player, which I think will make my money back again. So I'll probably not make profit, but I'll make it back. I might make a better profit in the Bayern Munich match. We actually we messaged each other during the game when it was 0-0, and it finished 0-0, and Lewandowski dropped from something like 1.2 million down to 900,000.
Yeah.
So I picked up I think I picked up a Lewandowski for 940, if I remember correctly. So hoping he's bound to go up again. He's bound to
Yeah, he's bound to in there.
That had been up so far, I think, because that would have been there. Was that Bayern Munich's third? That would have been their third win in a row. So of course he was.
No, that would have been their fourth.
Higher.
That was Lever's fourth. Yeah, if he won that
That's why
one.
2 million.
Yeah, it was at the hype of that. But yeah, that's it. You win some, you lose some. We all done it, and we've done it. Yeah, I do it. To be fair, it was only lucky that I checked, and I didn't have the coins because I had it in other stuff. Otherwise, I probably would have bought myself a few more. But I listed them and I got one off to a lazy buy, and then listed the others after Lukaku scored. Actually, so I actually made a bit of money on those three anyway, but nothing major. But yeah, we win some, we lose some. That just cracked me up.
We always come up with these random ideas, though. We've had Marino Gate.
I've got more Merinos. I've got more Merinos now. I've only got three. 23k each last night on bit. I was just like, hang on, I'll pick these up because he scored at the weekend. He's not going to get a team of the week, but he's the same price as 87 rated fodder. Like, you can't go wrong for 23k for an 87 rated upgradable when he's the same price as 87 rated fodder. So I only bought three because I didn't want to go in like too deep and buy like 30 just because I don't have to sit on them for 3 months before they get any profit.
That's a problem. Lukaku, it wasn't that he dropped in price so much for me. It's the volume that I bought that I lost on tax.
Yeah, because you're looking at what, 3.5k tax a time, aren't you?
3.5k tax. So
and the price doesn't move, so
I lose that every time, and I bought so many of them, it then dropped, and there was some that dropped even more. I kind of panic sold, but yeah, just always watch out for the higher you go. Obviously, the tax is going to be a killer.
Yeah.
So be careful of the tax.
All fun and games. So, right, now we're going to move on. Let's move on to the next segment and talk a bit about content. Let's talk about Future Stars promo, which we are fully in now, aren't we? We are, we're probably towards the end of it now. We are at the minute. And I think the main thing, we're not going through and talk through the players. I think the main thing from this promo, for me anyway, is this new type of objectives that we've got. Obviously, you've got the Dan James, a Cinnamon. I definitely pronounce his name. Yeah, you know the guy I'm talking about, and Odegaard, how you pronounce it?
Just Martin, do you?
What are you saying with these new type of objectives?
Oh, I love it. It's what FIFA needed to do a long time ago. Ironically, it's what they've done with Madden. And they've never got it into FIFA, but now probably in this promo is probably the best time to do it because it is that whole thing of, younger players being better. So it is effectively what Future Stars is all about, but they've just improved it to have a player that's a certain stat and they can get to a larger stat. One thing that just worries me, things like, I think the Daniel James one is great. I think that's the best of all three so far. The only thing about Odegaard is don't be fooled by the stats, because when you really look into the card with the likes of 3-star weak foot, things like that, it's a bit disappointing. And he's extremely weak. Like his aggression's 54. Like he will get pushed off the ball quite a lot. Strength 53. So yeah, it's a good idea. I think it's great what they've done. I think it's brilliant the way they're moving the game forward. What we're all crying out for every single week is content. And they've just dropped 3 really good new variations of a card in terms of each player, and then the grind to try and get that. So by starting off with the basic card, if you want to play with each card, you want to keep each card, that's fine. If you want to get the best one, you keep it. Or if you want to then use it for an SBC, you can do that as well. So going forward, I think it's good. The only thing, I guess it was the right time to do it because of Future Stars, but once you get that top-rated card, are they maybe in the future going to introduce that again? So maybe in 2 months' time, are they going to say, another little objective where you can increase James or Odegaard to a 90? Because by that stage, will the 87 Odegaard be any use to you in 2 months? Probably not. So is it going to be ongoing?
I don't think it will be ongoing, just because I think they would have told us potentially upgrade again. I think that's it. And also because I think that those cards are. It's not like you've started with the 86 and like just say Daniel James, you've not started with his 86 because they're saying that essentially if Dan James was in packs, he would have been an 86 in packs. So if we'd started with the 86 and then upgraded to 87, then maybe because you kind of started with a base. But I think because you start with real terrible ones and work your way up to what he would have been in Future Stars, and they haven't told us, I don't think that they'll be upgradable in the future. And plus, I can imagine the uproar there'd be if they were like, hang on, you should have told us they were upgradable.
I didn't do it. Yeah, people just left it. You guess some people just won't do this. But from going to a 72 to an 86, like covering Dan James, that card is an absolute beast. You know,
the cards are great.
Superstar, 99 agility, 95 balance, 98 acceleration, 96 shot power. You short passing 90, crossing 90. That's a weapon of a car.
And he's a
Great card.
fantastic. If you don't start him, he's a fantastic super sub because he's naturally pacey. And I just love. I think this new type of objectives is absolutely what we've been after. The fact that their weak foots change as well, that is huge. Same with the Future Star promo that they brought out when they brought out these new players, because a lot of them, like Martinelli, he's 2-star, 2-star his base card, but his new one is now 3-star, 3-star, 4-star, 3-star, forget which way, which obviously still isn't great, they're perfect, but it's better. But with like Dan James, it adds, I think it added his skill moves. I think got 4-star on his last card, and that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. My only negative point with this promo, the objectives, and kind of this promo whole is the fact that you can get a 50k pack for putting in the card, but you have to put in the main card that you've grinded for an untradeable 50k pack. Now, let me tell you something. The odds of you getting a card that is better than Dan James, Odegaard, or a Simonin from that 50k pack, and also one that'll actually fit in your team or you'll be usable, is slim to fuck all. I don't really like using the other one, but it is that bad. Like, I can't. I was on stream talking about it. I was like, please, nobody do it. Unless you are never going to touch that card, please don't do it because you're going to pull an 83. And then as Craig David, funny enough on stream, he was like, I've just put Dan James in. I put him in. I got a 50k pack. And I was like, oh, what have you done? Why? And he was like, guess who I got? And I was like, it's crap. I know you got rubbish. And he was like, Greenwood, Future Star. And I was like, oh, fair enough. And he did. He got Future Star Greenwood, which is very, very rare, guys. But honestly, that's the worst thing. I think for the amount of time you have to put in to get that main card, I don't think it's worth a 50k pack. They really should let you put the other 3 in, get a 50k pack, because that's good reward. Because it is a grind. It's hours. Like, I did Dan James, and that was squad battles, and that still took time. Took a long time to do just because you've got to play the games. And Odegaard's harder because it's in Rivals. I've not even looked at Simonin. But
we talked about this though, time versus how much something's worth. And I know I'm not going to spend all that time to do Dan James to gamble on a pack. You know, if you get something terrible, how many hours have you wasted?
Yeah, definitely.
I know FIFA's all about that, and people love gambling, people love opening packs, and we love opening packs. But I just think when you're opening packs versus the grind, remember that rival match, or remember those squad battles you had to go through and you were getting really frustrated, just bring yourself back to that moment. Think, no, it's not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Always.
And you've got a great card. You've got a great card at the end of it.
Yeah,
that is a great card. 86.
And if he'll be a super sub for the rest, just because he's so quick. You can bring him on and chuck him down the line, and he will always be a great super sub. Like, in my opinion, to the end of the game, when we get to team of the season, he will be a great super sub, and he's on my bench right now. So I've loved that. Have you tried any Future Stars players?
Yeah, I tried. Where I have my here? I done a what do you call it? Draft, and I was lucky enough to get João Felix in a draft. And this card, like, what I'll say first of all, it's a great card. From playing other drafts, because I haven't had, I played Ronaldo, CR7, and Mbappe. He feels very, very similar to that card, those two cards, like, as in playing with him.
He's a lot more expensive though, isn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say, my only gripe is, for 2 million, I just don't, I think it's too expensive for me, even though he's good, and I love playing with him. It's great. I also got the chance to play with, not in the same, he wasn't the same draft. It was a centre back who actually really impressed me. It was Boubacar Kamara.
Oh, Kamara. Yeah,
really, really good. He's only 5'10", but he was a quality centre back to play with.
Interesting. Yeah, I looked at getting him, but I decided against it because I've already got David Luiz with medium work rate. So my other centre back, I have to have high defensive work rate on. I don't know. I just don't like having both medium. So I decided against getting Kamara in the end.
But the player that I really want, like, there's that one person which I think is way overpriced, that I've wanted for a long time, and I've had him before, is Tyron Martinez.
Oh, he looks incredible.
It's an insane card, 1.7 million. I just
like that card is unbelievable because if you don't need a 92 pace, because he's 92 acceleration, 92 sprint speed, you actually don't need any more pace on him. If you whack a marksman, it makes him up to a 97 rated striker. The guy is I really want him as well, but I just can't. I don't have the coins.
Would you believe when I was looking at him on Fitbin, I actually struggled to think what chemistry you put on him. He doesn't need pace. He doesn't need shooting. He doesn't need dribbling. He doesn't need physicality.
Yeah, I went with marksman.
The ultimate card.
Yeah, I went with marksman just because it maxes out most of his shooting stats. I believe it maxes out a lot of his dribbling stats, and it also makes his strength like 95 or something. But yeah, he looks crazy. I may get him. I've still got headliner name at the minute, but I might sell him depending on how much he goes to in the next week. I may sell him, maybe Team the Mbappe, maybe Martinez, because obviously he's a lot cheaper than Team the Mbappe. How much am I going to notice the pace difference? Obviously, he's not 5-star, but 5-star skiller. But no, it's a nice card. If I had the coins, I would have tried him out.
I think there's opportunities to people to play about with these cards and not lose that much money, especially at the lower end. The likes of the Bakar Kamara at 160,000, and I guess even Tomori, he's maybe in the higher scale at 615,000. But the likes of Louis Philippe, like if you get those cards, you can play about with a lot of those cards for under 200,000.
Yeah, I think those cards. So I've tried Louis Philippe. I've tried two future stars now. I've actually done. You're going to tell me off for plug-in, but I've done 2 reviews on my YouTube channel of them actually, and I've done Louis Philippe, which I used in the weekend league. I did sell him straight after, but that's only because I knew his price was going to drop, and he did. So I bought him for 230, which was like 10k under market. I sniped him, and then I sold him for like 210 or something, which was obviously a loss, but I'm glad I did because today he's like 180. So I am going to buy him back. I really like him. People are put off by the stamina and that, but it's absolutely fine. Like I really like him. So he's coming back in my team on Thursday. The other one I tried today, which I was really, really lovely, like what a card, is Jonathan Icone from Lille. Whoa, this card. I think it's about 250, 260k right now. Absolute, like he is just a speedster dribbler. He's only 87 rated, but you chuck a Deadeye on him, and the guy is I found him amazing playing him as a wide cam. I did try him up front, but he didn't really work. But playing him as a wide cam on the right with the left, he was just a dream. He was terrifying defenses in Rivals. So I love him. But I think, yeah, with these cards, as long as you're prepared to lose tax, if you buy them, obviously we're in the promo at the minute, and their prices generally just decrease throughout the week, with the cheapest price either being Sunday night in Squad Battle Rewards or Thursday during Rewards. But if you buy one to use on like a Saturday for a few games and then sell them after, you should generally be okay, as long as you don't sell up. If you buy in the morning and then sell during a lightning round, yes, you're probably going to lose some more money. But if you're smart about it, you can buy them and just pay the tax and try them out. But
before, the game cycle doesn't last that long. Have fun with the cards, try them out. Another one that I would love to try is probably that Rodrigo card. Like that, if you look at that card as well.
Yeah, I didn't really like him.
The attacking players.
Yeah, I used him in a draft. I wasn't a massive fan. I used Martinelli in a draft, and I wasn't a massive fan either.
I suppose, yeah, it depends, what you like, but
it's funny, isn't it? Like it's so funny, a different opinion of somebody be like, "Oh my god, they feel so good on the ball," and somebody be like, "Nah, they feel terrible on the ball." And that's part of the love of FIFA, isn't it? And that's what, if we all loved the same card, because just say stats. Imagine stats were the only thing. We'd all have the same team, and nobody would ever use any other card. And there is other things outside of that. Be interesting. I think this Future Stars ends on Friday, doesn't it? This latest round, and then we've got, like, everyone's dying out for a mid-icon pack, SBC, and then we should get Team of the Week upgrades soon as well, shouldn't we? I think.
Yeah, that's right. What about the upgrades for those season, not the season players, the
the Politanos and stuff.
Yeah, Politanos and those kind of guys.
I think that'll come with Winter Refresh. I do, because I think Winter Refresh it's not really it's not a promo, but it does take. They don't run it at the same time as a promo. And actually, this is lovely. It takes us on to the next segment. Actually, talking about Winter Refresh, I think that during Winter Refresh, is when Winter Refresh I expect will start probably on the Monday. Not so a week to this. Recording this is Monday. It's Monday the 10th. So I think it will start in a week. I think Winter Refresh will start on Monday the 17th, and generally they release like a league a day. So they'll do like Bundesliga, then the Premier League the next day or something like that. And I think that'll be a perfect time for when they'll do upgrade packs and mid-icon pack, and I think also that's when we'll get introduced the upgrade opportunities for Politano. Just seems to fit. Like, we're upgrading people's base cards, and then we're also going to give you the opportunity to upgrade those other cards as well.
Yeah, I think people are sometimes they're unsure about should I upgrade, should I not, what should I do? You know, will Lewandowski get an upgrade? Will Werner get an upgrade? Will it match? You know, because there's a gap between certain cards. So, yeah, there's a website you can check. What's the website you can check?
So there is, so there is a website called SoFIFA, and apparently, and I've not verified this, so don't tell me if I'm wrong, don't tell me off, but apparently they've got it bang on every upgrade over for the last couple of years, and it's SoFIFA, so you can type in a player there, and it'll tell you, I think it's based on career mode. I think it's based on career mode, which has like real life form. I'm not entirely sure, but they basically have what they think their rating is, and they always get it right. And that has some crazy, upgrades on there. Like for me, and obviously these upgrades run through onto special cards as well if they cross over. But it's not always as clear as that. I remember Cancelo last year, his one to watch shouldn't have been upgraded because his base upgrade didn't impact his latest team of the week yet. However, they did upgrade it still, so there's always a pinch of salt with it, but generally they only upgrade special cards if any stat overlaps. And like for me, I'm looking forward to my Mane. So we're expecting, as per SoFIFA, we're expecting Mane to go from an 88 to a 90, which will mean his player of the month that I have will go from a 91 to a 93. So hopefully that'll make him better, because at the minute he really doesn't play like a 91 card. Timo Werner, he's another one that's expected to go from an 83 to 86. Like that headliner card could go up to an 89 potentially.
Yeah.
Lewandowski potentially could be getting a 1 or a 2.
Do I hold on to him? Do I sell him then? So, it's quite a nice time to have these cards.
Yeah, but you've got to be careful with like the hype price at the minute. A lot of people will be buying these cards. So if you're thinking, oh, you know what, I might go and buy myself a Lewandowski right now, or a Werner headline or whatever. Obviously, they're a bit different because they're live cards. So let's say you're going to go and buy an inform Mane, because you're like, I think Mane's going to get a 2. So I'm going to go and buy his 90 rated inform, thinking it's going to be a 92. Just look at the prices and look at what's happened over the last few weeks, because people have known about this or expected this for a while now. So people are buying into it. So you're in the hype stage where the price is probably quite high. And what you'll find is generally things is when it actually drops, everyone starts selling, and actually they drop in price. So you just be careful. You're not, if you want to invest in these now, it may be too late, but just to make sure you're not buying at the top of the hill kind of thing.
Yeah, stuck with the player.
Yeah. But I love Winter Refresh, and it's good.
Yeah, it's great. It is. It's just nice. I guess it's a nice refresh to the game.
Yeah, and all the
it changes.
It changes your club, doesn't it? If you've got a stat club, like your red, here's an interest, like, because we're going to talk more about rewards next week, and actually after we've gone through questions in the next segment, we'll have a quick run through of what we're going to be doing next week's show. But with the reds, if you've got reds in your club, if any of those get an upgrade, or any of the untradeable cards, like your team of the weeks, or if you've done any cards that get, that's such a nice feeling. When you look, you're like, oh, damn, whether you use them or not, or whether they're SBC fodder, it's just nice looking in your club and be like, damn, he's now, he's gone up 2. He's now an 88 rated player instead of 86. I like that.
And imagine if you're just a casual player that might only get to play the game at weekends because of time constraints or family, and you can log into your team and you've got like your players have had 1, 2, 3 upgrade. That's just great. It's another reason to play the game, and you've got it for nothing. So you haven't had to do anything, so I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
Give something back to the people.
I wonder if they'll do anything different. I wonder if there'll be anything thrown in. The EA have been doing stuff on the content side. I wonder if, I don't know, I wonder if there'll be something thrown in a little bit different this year in Winter Refresh. I don't know. There's nothing I can think of, but you never know, But we have had, obviously, like the new objective. Are we going to get anything objective based around Winter Refresh? I don't know. I don't know. It'd be interesting. Will they re-release some SBCs? Like, for example, let's just say an SBC. I'm trying to think of one that could use an example, but let's just say an SBC came out in the past that now, let's say Adama Traore. I'm making this up, by the way, so don't headliner Adama Traore. He's due an upgrade, but I don't think his upgrade is going to push his informs higher. But let's just say in this example they were, and that meant its headliner would go from 85 to 87. I wonder if they might decide to re-release that SBC for people to do, or whether if it was an objective card, whether maybe they re-release the objective so you can get the higher rated. If you, I don't know. I'm thinking, just it wouldn't surprise me because they've got. Yeah, they've got to link objectives into Winter Refresh somehow if they're not running a promo, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it really didn't crack people up the last time when had Peace Check, for example, was out and he was really expensive, what, 200,000-300,000, and then when they re-released them again, it was like 50,000 or something.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be cheaper. Yeah, I don't think these would be cheaper because they'd be higher. But I don't know. I just feel that they've got to do something with objectives and stuff and SBCs.
Keep it alive.
Yeah, to keep it alive, because people will be demanding it. They'll be like, okay, yeah, great, Lewandowski base card is 90, but that's still shit and not good enough for my team. I want you know what I mean? People will be demanding for fresh content. So I do wonder what we'll get. Maybe you could grind for no, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Guys, if you've got any ideas, please tweet us. Let us know your ideas on how EA could kind of spice up Winter Refresh with like some form of SBCs. I don't know if they did SBCs for it last year, or that's why I think we're going to get the mid-icon pack and Team of the Week upgrades during Winter Refresh, because it's quite hard for them to do SBCs for that. So, but yeah, let us know on Twitter at 12Futs your ideas. That brings us.
Funny people's perceptions sometimes. When I just notice, I even do it myself. When you put a team together, and I went back to getting Kante, and people are so put off by putting the base card back in again because they think you always have to have the better card. If you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
I don't want to have Kante 89 because I know he's not a special card. I want like the inform one. But the actual fact is 89 is an amazing card.
Oh,
Same
yeah.
with Mbappe, Ronaldo. I don't want that rubbish, Lewandowski 90 card that's only worth 30,000, but it's still an epic card. It's just a mindset. Yeah,
and it is, and it's like a lot. We play FIFA to use the cards in game, but it's also like there's a flex in all of us. For example, a card's value. Some part of that card's value is a dynamic image. So they've done it before, haven't they? With EA, don't always put the dynamic images on straight away, and you've seen cards prices shoot up when they get a wicked dynamic image, because that makes it more desirable. So we've got an element of a computer game, but we've also got an element of like almost like a Panini sticker book in a way, like
stature.
Cool. I've got a cool card. This is like it's quite cool and rare. It looks wicked. It's a rare player or whatever. And it's funny. Like I'm like it in terms of when the winter upgrades come out. If this makes me sound like such a dick. If I had a gold card in my team, oh god,
makes you sound like such a dick.
What a dick! I'm so sorry.
But you are just a dick.
If I had gold Kante at 89 and he got a 90, well, let's say I had, I would only want the 90. I'm that guy. I would. I'd be like, I don't want 89 Kante in my team. Get the hell out, mate. You're old news. I would want the 90, and you pay a premium, like for albeit. It's the same as an inform, which we know a one stat upgrade, you will not notice a difference. Maybe we should test that sometime. Test it where you play a couple of games with a normal card and then a couple of games with their first inform, and you've got to say at the end of each game whether you think it was the inform or the normal. I wonder how many you'd get right. It's like the Coke and Pepsi test, isn't it? Like, will you notice a difference? I don't think you would. I don't think anyone would.
It's exactly the same as like with icons at the start of the game. If you play the game for the first week and you were to get Schmeichel 86, you would think it was Christmas 10 times over. But now if I said, would you take Schmeichel 86? He's just like, no. You would have nowhere near your club. So it's just as the game progresses throughout the year, it's funny how all our mindsets change because you know that the game will improve and get better and better.
Yeah.
So it's but that's the beauty of a live game. We'll forget that. As much as EA make their mistakes, the game does improve without you maybe realising it.
Yeah, content-wise, they're on the money this year for me. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
I've actually stopped saying that an SBC is like, I don't say when I do it like SBC reviews, look at SBC. I'm like, I don't even say now, oh, it's expensive, because that is the bar for SBCs. If you know what I mean, like we all want to be cheaper, and that is the bar. So I'm like, well, that's actually just a fair price for the SBC. If you compare it to every other SBC we got, like we'd obviously always like it cheaper, but like it's a fantastic mode. FUT is a fantastic game mode. If you think about it, you're building towards your ultimate team that you can just change all year long. There's so much content to work towards. it is such a good mode. If we can just fix some fundamental things like with the gameplay and the servers and certain little bugs here and there, it is just like it could keep people playing all year. That's what makes me sad when I see people like, nah, I'm just done with FIFA now. It's just boring playing it. Weekend, like the gameplay's crap. That really saddens me because I'm like, oh my god, this like we love football. We're passionate about football, passionate about FIFA, and like, oh, just EA, please fix it, just because this could be so good. And
There's one thing I love. I heard it on another podcast I listened to. I know the guys. I listen to quite a lot. And one of the guys suggested on there, I think it was actually a question, but how good would it be if you were the captain, if you selected your captain would get, no matter what his link was, you would get 10 chem on the captain. So you could have, any player you wanted, didn't fit into the team at all, red links everywhere, but as soon as you made him captain, he had 10 chemistry. I think that'd be
interesting. Great. Yeah, it's an interesting thought, isn't it? Yeah, but there's so many different things. Like, and we're going to talk about reward structure and kind of team of the weeks and red picks and all that stuff in a lot of detail next week. So make sure you tune in because we're going to run through ideas like this of like how could we spice things up with making that section. And I think that comes in like something just like a captain card, anything
and
just to spice up. Yeah, it's endless. Because chemistry's great, but it's also annoying because it limits you in stuff that you'd love to be able to do. But you can't because you can never get the chem. So it's great, but it's also absolutely. I think chemistry for like squad building challenges is brilliant. I think that puzzle side of the game is amazing. But I think within like building your team for playing, I think they almost need to get rid of it. I don't know. It's tough. I love it because it does force you to use different things, but I also dislike it.
I actually think you're right in saying that. The unfortunate thing is, you see some people you play, you think, why have you got him in your team? He's terrible. It forces you to use really cheap or the cheapest possible icon you can find because it's the only way you can link your team up, which is unfortunate. You've bought like a, I don't know, Nakata or Rui Costa just because you need that link.
Yeah. And it gets a problem when you get, well, not a problem, but some of these objective cards that we get, which are actually really good, like your Tomiyasu's or your Shoji. Obviously, if you're running a hybrid, they're very hard to link just because of their nation. Well, maybe not so much this year because we seem to get a Japanese player in every single all the time. Releasing and made like Kubu. Well, we've got Kubu. There's Nakajima in the League SBC. You've got Shoji. You've got Tomiyasu. So there's quite a few, but quite often you find that's one thing that stops people from using those cards more in their first team is you can't hybrid it up. You have to have icons around them, or a French league player, for example, is Shoji's case, and they're not that good. Like French league players outside of Neymar and Mbappe, there's not that many amazing players, really, not like the other leagues. So, it'd be interesting.
Which I suppose that it's quite a good thing that this year they've introduced icon swaps, so that's kind of helped people to do that. Maybe they've done that. I don't know whether they've done that knowingly or not, but it's helped me especially. Now I've got Schmeichel, Zambrotta, Ferdinand, and Koeman. So I've got 4 icons that I would never have had before.
We're not talking about icon swaps. I've had it with my icon swaps.
Let's talk about icon swaps.
No, mate.
What are your icon
There was
swaps?
nothing right about my icon swap. Let's put it that way. Nothing right about my mid-icon pack.
How did you get on with your pack?
Ian bloody right. I love the guy, but not in FIFA. Mid-Ian right. I mean, this... my fault for taking a pack and obviously do it for the content and it's a bit of fun. But the disappointment when you see the England flag drop and then you kind of want it to be centre back because you're like, the only one I'd like it to be is Rio. So you want it to be Rio, but you're like, I don't want to see centre back because if that's Bobby Moore, that's a real kick in the teeth because you could have done him for 5 tokens and he's also absolutely terrible. And that you're literally just like, this is going to be crap. And then you're like, oh, is it Owen? And I'm thinking, I don't know. And just like, it's just, it was awful. It was terrible. But the icon swap stuff we could talk about forever as well because icon SB. We need both, but we can talk about that another day. I think we probably should move on to some questions, shouldn't we? Otherwise, everyone a bit of a longer episode today, guys. We apologise for that, but
we're catching up on
missed time. But let's go into some questions we got.
Yeah, questions. What have I got? So my first question. Do you get a first question? You want me to start with?
I don't mind.
All right, first question. I'll give it to you then. This is at Wet Farm. He's a big fan of the show, and his question is: what camera angle do you feel benefits you the most in, I guess it's any game mode, probably for you, Weekend League? So
I
what camera angle do you play with?
I use telebroadcast. And then I go to customize the settings on it, and I move to full height. I think it's height 20 and zoom 0. So I basically have the highest angle, so I'm looking down on the pitch as much as possible, and I zoom out as much as possible. The only problem with that camera is because it's like tele broadcast, so I'm assuming it's kind of like where they would be, well, it's what it says on tin. It's where they broadcast telly, so it differs per stadium. So if you play at a real crap stadium, your telly broadcast is really low and really close to the pitch, whereas if you play in like the new camp, it's really high up. So it is really annoying, because some weekend league games you'll be like, hang on a minute, this is awful. I know the other one.
Yeah, that was the second part of his question, is that in Weekend League it's fine, but when I play rivals, it really affects my game, because different stadiums, I have a different angle. Should I change this?
Yeah, well, the other one that people use is the co-op one, because it's really zoomed out. Like, you can see loads of the pitch, and I think,
Full pitch.
yeah, if you don't use the radar, like I use the radar quite a lot, but if you don't use the radar, I can see the real benefit of that one. But I just couldn't get on with co-op. I feel like it moves more. I feel like telebroadcast is kind of quite stationary, but I feel co-op moves more, and it really puts me off. I don't know why. It just throws me when I'm playing. So I tried it, and I actually went back to telebroadcast, and I just deal with it when I get a game where I feel like it's not the same angle as I'm used to.
Yeah, I'm the same. I play on telly broadcast, but just have the standard. Mainly because I don't play on a monitor, I play on a TV screen. But I like to see the whole pitch. I like to see what's going on, where I can see my run from my wingers, where my fullbacks are, and I can spread the play.
You should try co-op then. Co-op literally is
I like the problem is, because I'm so old, I love the detail of the game too. So I don't want to take the detail away from the game.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go really close, like I've played the game where it's been whatever the really close angle is. That's awesome, because you can see the players' faces, loads of detail.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Have you ever done... Here's something I do every now and again. I've not done it for a while. And actually, now we're talking about it, I'm going to do this. I do top to bottom. So I do it the other way. Instead of going side to side, I go top to bottom. So like Pro Club, like Pro Club cam. I think that's the original Pro Club or Career or whatever, the goalkeeper view. And that's quite good fun, because that's how a lot of football games used to be back in the day, like Sensible Soccer. And there was a few I used to play on I can't think what it's called now, on the SNES. It wasn't Pro Evo, it was another one, but we used to play that, and it was and Kickoff as well was another one back in the Amiga days. And it's actually really good fun, because it gives you a whole different depth of the pitch. It's difficult, but it really mixes things up a little bit, because you can get a real perspective. And when you score a goal, they look wicked from that angle. When you drill it and you just see the ball smash in, it's like it's cool. So guys, if you fancy a change, don't do it on Weekend League. But if you're playing rivals and fancy a change, try it, like the vertical cam, and see if you like it.
Yeah, that actually is. You're right in saying that. I remember I loved playing that mode, and I think it was Kickoff, because you were at the ground level, and when you scored a goal, it looked like you were actually just pinging one as if you're on a pitch.
Yeah,
and there's
brilliant.
no better feeling than seeing that go into the top corner.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Next question. This is going to be a question I'm going to ask you. I don't have the name of who sent this one in, actually. That's my fault. Do you think it's important to have a striker with a minimum 4-star weak foot? And would you always go for a 5-star weak foot if you can?
100%. Definitely. I think there's certain positions where you definitely need that weak foot. And I think striker is your number one. If you don't have a weak foot with a striker, bear in mind, it could be receiving it from the left, it could be receiving it from the right, it could be receiving it from the middle, depending on the formation. But most of the time, you'll receive it from the left and right. And if you want to hit that shot first time, where there's especially now, when a lot of people are playing drop back, you don't get that chance to take a touch and kind of reshape yourself in the box. You've got to hit that first time, and the element of surprise, you've got to have that weak foot, and you'll have so many more opportunities to get a shot in, or on target, or at least get a corner from it. So for me, when I look at a striker, first that I look at is pace. I look at shooting, but it has to be anything more than anything less than 4-star weak foot. I wouldn't entertain the player, and there's a lot of big players out there that don't have that, and I haven't chosen in the past, and I probably wouldn't, because just for that reason, that I want my striker to take it any foot possible, where no matter where he is in the box.
Makes it, yeah. I agree. I think I've become more of a weak foot snob this FIFA than any other FIFA. The predictability, I think, because now I've got headline and Neymar, which I play up front. Obviously, he's 5-star, and it's because if you use, I use Maradona up front with him quite often in a 4-4-2, and Maradona's a 3-star weak foot, so it's predictable. Like you know where Maradona's going to go. He's going to go on his left foot, or more than not. Sometimes I try it on his right, but 90% of the time, 9 times out of 10, I go on his left foot. Whereas Neymar, you don't know if I'm going to go on his left or his right because it's 5-star. So I definitely, it's definitely important. There's nothing worse when you miss an opportunity and you're like, you know what? And if with somebody with 3-star weak foot or worse, and you're like, if that was a 4-star weak foot, it would have gone in. And so, I agree with you, Dry. So I think it's important.
If you listen to comedy, it's no different than real life. If you can identify who, we all see who plays in the opposite team. So if I see that somebody's playing with, let's say, I don't know, a player that's got 3-star weak foot, I know in that game when I'm playing him, whenever they're on the attack, I know to keep him on his. If he's right-footed, I'll keep him on his left foot. If he starts moving across to the right, I'll know to cover that side of the pitch a lot more. I just keep them to go onto their left foot, their weak foot. So it helps your game to identify that quite quickly. If you don't, you need to.
It does, and you should. So in Fut Champ, this is what I don't do because generally when I'm loading up, I'm talking to people on chat, so I don't look. The amount of times I'm like, damn, I didn't look at their team. But you should. In that moment you get shown their team, you can work out, right, they've got Salah. He's going to be on his left. Let's play him on his left all the time. Right, they've got Neymar. Yep. Okay, you've got to be prepared to go both sides. They've got, and you can really say, you can work it out quite easily on which side they're normally going to go. And when people are dragged back in all around you, it's really handy to know because, it can get annoying. But
yeah, good question.
Very good question. And then the last question, which I believe you've got.
Last question I have, let's see, from Miss LJ, another girl on the, or female on the podcast, which is good to see. Is your pack lock more prominent on web app or console? I think what she means is, do you get better packs on the web app or do you get it on the console? Web app separated from phone to desktop to console?
Do I? In general, I don't see any difference, but I do at stages. There seems to be stages where I'll get some, and this could just be because I just happen to have some decent pack luck. But I have had stages, for example, most of my stuff gets opened on console because most of it gets opened on stream. But I do, and I just like opening it on console because if you get a walkout, it's quality, right? Seeing the boards and everything. So it's rare. The only time I really was open stuff on web app now is if I can't sleep or when I wasn't very well, I was doing a lot of League SBCs. And I was opening them on my phone because I didn't want to save the packs because obviously I'm recycling the players to put into new League SBCs. And I got some good pulls, like no big pulls, but I got quite a lot from about... I got a couple of walkouts from like 6 packs. And I was like, brilliant. So that felt... But I felt that could just be pack luck rather than like, do I think there's any difference? So my answer to that is I don't see any difference in my luck between web app and console. I know people do. I don't know, do you?
Not really, no. It's
superstition, isn't it?
At all. It's superstition. It's funny because it's not even the superstition. It's the fact that I love the animation when you're on console. You see it coming in. You can read it. Oh, it's the double light.
Non-board. It's non-board. It's not.
It's an on-board. Yeah. Oh, it's another on-board.
It's another.
Yeah, another one.
Pack
and then
luck.
You don't even get the little lines. So, like, I think the best pack I've ever had was on actual PC in FIFA 2009 when Ultimate Team just came out, and I packed an Inform Messi on PC on a desktop. It's hard to top that, but well, obviously it's not because you can get icons and stuff now. But no, I think you're right. I think it's pack luck. I think it's either superstition, pack luck. It doesn't really matter. I think stick to the phone or the console. I don't think the web app on the PC. I've never had anything apart from Messi. Like, how many years ago was that? I haven't had much luck after that. So no, yeah, I stick with console because I love seeing the animation. And
just the animation of when or if. So to be honest, the real answer here, what we're both trying to say is we don't see any difference because it's crap on both. There we go. I think that sums it up. And on that note,
that ends the show.
On that note, it's going to end the show. Just say back next week. So next week we're going to have our first guest, we are going to have our first guest. I'm going to tell you who the guest is. I'm going to leave us a bit of a surprise, but they are somebody who's they're very good FIFA player. They've grown from they've gone from being like kind of gold 2, gold 1 player to being an elite 1 player. So it's going to be really interesting to hear their story, and we're going to have a really in-depth discussion with them about rewards and kind of things, and they're going to join us for the whole cast next week. So it'll be really cool. It's going to be our first guest, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. Yeah, it'll be good to find out the mindset of somebody who can, go up the levels and what they've done. We all talk about this kind of mental thing out playing weekend league and how you handle it and how you cope with it and how somebody's went to that next stage and what's involved in that. So that'll be good. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And well, thank you again for listening. So we've got a little bit longer than normal, but we've got a lot to talk about with having a week out. So guys, thank you for listening as always, and we will see you next week.
Speak next week. Bye.
Cheers.